Rose Baca, staff photographer file. Dallas Cowboys tight end Jason Witten watches a tribute video of himself alongside head coach Jason Garrett during a news conference where Witten announced his retirement from the NFL at the Star in Frisco, Texas on Thursday, May 3, 2018. Rose Baca, The Dallas Morning News, Matt Mosley, special contributor to SportsDailyFW.com, answered your questions about the Cowboys, Mavericks, Rangers, Stars and college sports in a live chat Friday. Here are some highlights. Cowboys, who will sign an extension first, Doc or Zeke? Mosley, I get the sense that Dak Prescott will get the first contract. That seems to be the biggest priority for the Cowboys. Since that will be the larger contract of the two, it makes sense to get it done and then see what the situation looks like. I would assume Prescott might be trying to work off that David Carr contract that was about $70 million in guaranteed money. He'll obviously want more than Carr because his team has won more games. I think he'll come in a little higher than that contract. Q. What are your thoughts on Jason Witten returning to the Cowboys? Mosley, I'm really glad to see the guy happy. He was getting killed in the broadcast booth. There are a lot of reasons for that, and some of them aren't his fault. But he needed to find a somewhat graceful exit that didn't leave too much of a mark on his career. The Cowboys provided that exit. And they know that he'll show up ready to go and make a major impact on this team. What Ed Werder and I talked about yesterday on our Doomsday podcast was how this will set up Jason Witten to possibly coach in the future. And with Jason Garrett being in a lame duck situation, that transfer of power could happen as quickly as the 2020 season. We heard rumors that Witten was interested in taking the Tennessee Vols coaching job when it was open recently. That was sort of a disastrous process, so he was wise to stay out of that in the end. But his grandfather was a coach, and it makes sense that Witten would become a coach. Jerry Jones absolutely loves Witten and will basically give him whatever he wants. He just has a great admiration for him. As a source told Werder, Jerry may favor Jason over Tony Romo, as hard as that is to believe. The shadows of Romo hung over everything Witten did in the booth. Now, Witten can return to where he feels the most comfortable. Q. Do you foresee Jerry pushing in all the chips for the 2019 season? Personally, I'd like to see a deal with Earl Thomas, which combined with return of. Your thoughts? Mosley, I was reading this morning that Earl Thomas is in no mood to give anyone a hometown discount, but I do think he's enamored with the thought of playing for the Cowboys. I just don't see the Cowboys doing a big money deal with a 30-year-old safety coming off a serious injury. If there's not a market for him, the Cowboys might swoop in and put something together. The only thing I would do differently than you is still be thinking about a tight end. This is likely a one-year thing for Witten. This saves him from the booth and perhaps sets him up for a coaching future. I think that's where all this is headed. Q. Does Witten's return to the Cowboys change their draft strategy? Mosley, I don't think Witten's return changes the draft strategy. Maybe it helps break a tie if the Cowboys are hung up between a tight end and a DT. But, if there's a supremely talented Tay, the Cowboys have to pull the trigger. That tight end would then have one of the best mentors in the league. I know Marty B wasn't a huge fan of Witten's tutoring, but I'm not sure Marty B was the best student at that point of his career. And I'm a big Marty guy. I just think the weight of the world has been lifted off Witten's shoulders. I'm so happy for him. Click or tap here to view the entire chat.